Hey guys, it's me, Ryland, the worst model ever, and I am here to do my very first What's in My Bag video. I thrift all the time. I am always bargain hunting, and I brag about it on my live streams, and I share some of my stuff on Snapchat, but I've never done a share my haul, what's in my bag kind of video, and today I went to this really awesome secondhand book sale, and I walked out with 13 books. So I decided that this would be a really good opportunity for me to try my hand at this type of content. I'm not really sure what I'm doing or how this is going to turn out. So if you guys like this and want to see more stuff like this, let me know. If you hate it, just accept that it's entirely on brand and there's nothing we can do about it. But yeah, enjoy, I guess. So I'm going to show you guys everything I got in the order I found it, and then I'm going to tell you what I paid for the whole collection of books. The first 3 books that I found, technically, I've owned this series before. I might actually have these 3 books in one of my totes in storage, but I'm not sure, and I like the trilogy so much that today I grabbed these 3 just in case. I used to have them hardcover, but I think I gave those 3 to my sister when I moved to Vegas. So I picked up a classic trilogy. Why is this not focusing? Focus! Oh my god. So it's The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest, The Girl Who Played with Fire. Obviously, these 3 books are brilliant, and I really, really like them, and I want to make sure I have them in my collection. So though I've read them before, I will definitely read them again. And I feel like they're just a set that I want to have for my well-rounded library, which I'm currently working on. So we found these first. I found these 2 first, and then I saw this and I was like, well, that seals the deal. We'll get all 3. The next book I found, I was really attracted to the spine on the book. I wasn't even sure, again, like, will this focus? Ooh, okay. I wasn't even sure what the book was. It's called Annihilation, and I'm pretty sure that I've seen a movie based off this book. There's a movie that I believe is called Annihilation. And based off the description, I'm pretty certain I've seen that movie. However, when I watched the movie, I felt like it was really lacking in substance. And I'm hoping that reading this book is going to fill in some of that. It's part of a trilogy. There's 3 books. There's Annihilation, Authority, and Acceptance. So we're going to start with this one, and depending on how it goes, we're obviously going to get the other 3. But again, I just really loved, and okay, the texture on these pages, anything that has this like raw paper finish is often something that like I just want the book simply from how it manifests, and just like the noise and the size and like the, like how can you not? So the next find, Annihilation. The next book I found, okay, this one I think is cool. It also speaks to me from an aesthetic standpoint. It's like that soft matte cover, which I just love the feeling of. But it's called Grimm Tales, and it's essentially what is it? It's a retelling with added sprinklings of wit. I'm excited to see what this is about. I think this will be like really nice, light, easy reading. I typically have a few books going at a time, and I think something like this would be like a really fun book to be reading in the bath. You guys know me, anything fairy tale, mythology, I'm like about it. And I loved the cover art. It just really, again, kind of appealed to me. And the finish is like that soft matte, which I know is ridiculous. The way the book looks is only half the battle. However, to me, it matters. And I really liked the way this one looked, so I grabbed it as well. The next 2 books are both in French. I'm currently working on re-upping my French skills. I can read in French, however, I don't often. Therefore, this is a skill that I'm noticing is deteriorating, and as such, I want to work on that. Essentially, I need something that's going to pique my interest and challenge me, but still be something I can get through comfortably. So I found 2 books. The first one is, and it's Les Fantômes de Manhattan. So essentially, my understanding is Annie O'Neill, the main character, meets someone who claims to have known her parents, and then we get like a bit of a mystery. So I'm intrigued by this. I'm not sure about it. If it was in English, I don't know that I would have bought it but it's pretty small font. And I feel like it'll be a rewarding read for me. There's going to be some words I don't know. I'm going to do some learning. I think it'll be good. The other one I got is much bigger and probably even more challenging than that one. Okay, it's called Le Cheptel. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It is a murder mystery for sure. And again, we're looking at some pretty small font. I am expecting this one to be a challenge, but I do think that the storyline for this one will keep me intrigued. Again, this will be a slow read for me, but I feel like by the time I'm done reading this, my French literature proficiency will be at a place that I'm proud of and pleased with. So this was the next book that we found. Next, I found a few books in the sociology section that I found very interesting. So this one obviously jumped out at me right away. It's called Haters, and it focuses on cybersexism, harassment, bullying, etc. And as somebody who essentially exists on the internet and deals with cybersexism, harassment, and bullying on the internet essentially on a daily basis, I think this will be an interesting read. It was published in 2016, so it's a little dated. However, I do think that the concepts in here and some of what they touch on might be interesting, might be relevant. I think the concept of internet misogyny, is fascinating. So anyways, this book called Haters, we got it, and it's more of just an informative read. I was interested. This book was right beside this one. And again, the minute I saw the title, it's called Swearing is Good for You. I couldn't walk away, guys. It's yellow, it's pink. And on the back, it claims that swearing has been shown to help reduce physical pain and help stroke victims recover their language. So I'm interested to see where that's cited in here. And I'd actually like to do some more reading on that because, as you guys know, I have a potty mouth. So if what I'm understanding is correct, I'm literally going to live forever because I cuss like a trucker. That makes sense, right? That's what this is saying. Anyways, I thought this would be an interesting read. I'm also very fascinated with language. You guys know I speak a couple. I like studying the relation between language and anthropology. So I think this will be an interesting read. It's small, it's light, it's easy. And again, I couldn't walk away from something with, I just couldn't walk away. So I had to have it. Next, this one really interests me, and it circles back to something I was studying in school that I was very interested in. And it's called The Cult of Efficiency. And I think it's interesting because we have this heavy emphasis in our culture on efficiency. And ultimately, when you look at the concept of efficiency nowadays, and you look at what you get as a result of said efficiency, it's a subpar product more often than not. There's a lot of rhetoric around this. And again, this book is a little older. I forget when this one was first published. Yeah, okay, so the copyright is 2001. So it's a little older. And again, the concepts in here, I'm sure, are a little dated. However, I'm still very interested in it. And I think it'll be an interesting expansion on things that I've already studied and that I'm interested in. So again, much like these other two, it was just sitting there and I was like, this is something I'm interested in. And for this price, I literally cannot say no. And then I got to the last few tables and I found these last three books. This one, I'm familiar with this book. I have friends that have quoted this book. I've been told I need to read this book. One of the reasons I decided to actually get this book today is the paperback print. Hang on, it says it right here. In a preface written for the paperback edition, Dawkins responds to some of the controversies the book has incited. This brilliantly argued, provocative book challenges all of us to examine our beliefs, no matter what beliefs we hold. As you guys know, I'm not religious, however, I am spiritual. And this was written by a very, apparently he's quite famous. He's an atheist. So this book argues that being religious is actually dangerous. That's the premise of this book. And again, it's very controversial. The preface is a large part of why I decided I would get this today. And again, the price for these books and the funds going towards the local library, I was like, I already have this many. Let's get one more. It's probably not going to be the first book I read. It'll probably be a minute before I feel like delving into this. I do think that it will be something that I enjoy reading. However, I think that it will require me to be in like a certain headspace and mood. Please let me know if you guys are interested in some reviews. I will let you know. And when I do feel like getting into this, I think it'll be rewarding. There's the word I'm looking for. I think it'll be a bit of a chore to read this, truly. However, I think once I've read it, I'll feel good. This next book is really exciting for me, but also I think really important. So the author that wrote this book wrote another book that actually changed my life. And this book is called Stamped from the Beginning. The other book by this author that I've already read is called How to Be an Anti-Racist. And that book changed my life. So when I saw this and I realized it was written by the same author, and I mean, touching on some very important social issues. So to give you guys a quick read on the back, a deep and often disturbing chronicling of how anti-Black thinking has entrenched itself in the fabric of American society, not solely through ignorance, but through a rationalization of inequity in institutional practices. Literature like this matters. And again, when we're talking about a well-rounded library, I think we need to have a diverse representation of authors and ideas and, essentially, it is my responsibility to read this and to be better informed. And I'm saying that to all of you. I feel all of you have a responsibility to read things like this, to learn about complex social issues, especially race. And I mean, it's well known that racism is still a very serious issue in today's day and age, which is just shocking. So I feel like this book in itself is something that I have a responsibility to read, but I'll also benefit from reading. So I picked this up and I'm actually really looking forward to getting into it. However, I know that this will be a difficult read for me, not in the same way the God Delusion or some other, or the French books will be, but this will also challenge my concepts. This will make me feel uncomfortable. Which is the point of literature like this. And this is really important, again, from a standpoint of being the kind of person I want to be and living in today's day and age. I think it's so important that we spend time and energy on complex social issues. And honestly, racism, I don't even know that I want to call it complex, because I'm going to leave that there. That's my piece on this. If you guys haven't read How to Be an Anti-Racist, look it up, read it, get the audiobook. I don't care. Expose yourself to some new concepts and put yourself outside your comfort zone. If you have read that, there's also this one. And if you haven't, I mean, please check this out. Again, I haven't even read it yet, but I truly believe that this will be a worthwhile read. I am looking forward to getting into it. And again, like I keep saying, I'll let you guys know. Let me know if you want to know more. I think this is necessary. I think everyone needs to read things like this. All right. The last book that I got today may as well have jumped off the table at me as I was walking out. I started reading this book years ago and never finished it. And it's called Long Walk to Freedom. It's Nelson Mandela's autobiography. And I think, again, that this is an excellent... If you're going to read anybody's autobiography, Nelson Mandela is a cool fucking guy. And his story is insane. You will not believe the shit this man did and survived. So I haven't even finished it, and I need to. I need to know more about his journey. But I am endlessly impressed with this man's fortitude, and I think his experience in Africa, especially being the president, in the era that he, even his childhood, like some of what he touches on in this, again, like from when I first started reading it. I need to circle back. I need to read it again. I'm very excited. But the other thing that I thought was really interesting about this is that the foreword is written by President Bill Clinton. And I am intrigued by that. I can't say that I've read anything that Bill Clinton has ever written. However, I am really curious why they picked him. I mean, I have a few ideas why they might have, but to make the preface, there are so many reasons that I'm not 100% certain on this, but that I'm also just like really intrigued, and I'm hoping by the time I finish the book, I'll feel sound in the fact that Bill Clinton wrote the preface for this, but that also like really intrigued me. So I grabbed this on the way like to the cache, hands full, overflowing in books, and added this last minute to my collection. All right, so now the part you've all been waiting for. How much did I pay for all of these books? And the answer is $48 total. I walked out of there with 13 books and I spent $48. Insane. That is so cheap in my opinion, especially considering the literature that I was able to bring home. I am majorly hyped. I feel like this was an excellent score and I can't wait to share what I think about some of these with you guys. I'm debating doing a what am I reading now? What do I think? Kind of video. I'm not sure. Let me know if that's something you guys would like to see. Let me know if you want to know. Again, I know I've said that like 8 times in this video, but I'm going to say it one more time. If you guys want to know what I think of these books, please don't hesitate to let me know because I would love to tell you my opinion. And yeah, congrats. You made it through my very first What's in My Bag video. I hope this was thoroughly rewarding for everyone involved. Thank you for watching.